In this video, we're going to talk about intent versus impact when it comes to student behavior in the school system. So let's open up this with a story as usual. So I've got a girl that comes in the office and said, somebody just hit me in the cafeteria. And I'm like, what is that? That doesn't typically just happen, right? So the more that we dive underneath, we start to realize that this girl who was hit, no, and I don't take away from that, but when I start to unpack this more, this girl along with two other friends confronted another girl in the cafeteria. So intent versus impact. She's like, this girl hit me. And I'm like, okay, but I don't hear any responsibility or accountability. Did you cause anything for this to happen? Because when you start to speak to the girl that actually did hit her, she owned it. I hit her, and here's why. She came at me with three girls. So when you add the layer of the context here, three girls, earrings off, hair up, ready to be aggressive, right? Come into the cafeteria and confront her saying, I hear my name is in your mouth, and what is up with that? So what this girl tells us is, hey, Mr. Curtis, I felt threatened. So immediately I started understanding the girl who got hit said, well, I didn't mean to make you feel that way. And you start to see her disconnect from any responsibility or any accountability and how she threatened the girl approaching her with two other friends. Now, when the girl that hit her said, listen, my mom taught me if I ever feel overwhelmed or overpowered, hit the biggest one and run. I don't know about the advice, but she followed through. But here's what's interesting about this is that the girl owned what she did. Totally responsible, accountable. That was the easy part. It was the girl that got hit. All she kept focusing on was, but she hit me. And I'm like, no, I understand that, but let's back up the story. When you approached her with the other girls and you approach her in this aggressive way, you made her feel threatened. Well, I didn't intend to make her feel that way. And this is where I start to see a common thread amongst a lot of dysregulated and a lot of behavior problems in school is that the students don't understand, well, I didn't intend to make you feel this way, so therefore I'm not responsible or accountable for the impact that I had on you. I'm like, what? This is a huge teaching piece. And this to me is where a gap between students don't understand intent versus impact. And as we as adults support school systems and students struggling with behavior, this is the part where I want to help you close that gap. Whether students really don't understand whether they intended to or not, they still negatively impacted them with a poor choice or a poor voice. This is where this piece stands out. So ultimately, students may not see this. There's a gap there, but is our responsibility as educators and adults to help transform and close this gap. So I'm going to invite you to set up a call with me as a discipline strategist at ddiscipline.com, where you can sign up for our Disrupting Discipline course. This training will help you identify accountability, responsibility, ultimately who was directly and indirectly impacted, and help you move through this model so that your students are able to identify not only what they intended to do, but the impact they've had on other students.